bit more sort of rough and ready around the edges. Okay, so hard to know where to start really. Here's a whole load of all brass locks. I'm just trying to read some comments at the same time. I can't believe I missed the face. You're not missing anything, and I don't think you saw a full face. You saw like an eye and some very bad lockdown hair. I don't think that it's going to excite anybody. A small antique eagle lock. I don't think there's an eagle lock here. If you do you mean this one? That is we all saw it. Yeah, this is an Avocet. So Avocet are famous for ABS and ATK and the Pioneer series. So there's that one. It's just in case you meant that one. Oh, whole face minus deft whole face minus chin. If you rewind it, okay. Let's have a look. So where are we? Yeah, this is, I believe, all of my all brass lock collection. And yeah, I know there are some all bronze in here. I think that the Yales are full bronze. So we've got bronze Yales, and I'm sure I had another little one over here as well. Oh, look, a couple more snuck on. That's another brass one. Little Castle ISO lock, an isolating lock, another Lotto, and this, which I got for a couple of pounds on eBay. Listen. Do that next to the mic for you. There's something desperately wrong with that, isn't there? It shouldn't be making that noise. I'm thinking, oh yeah, I'm thinking it's, well, I'm hoping it's just something loose in there, like a pin or something like that. But yeah, I kind of want to make a key for it, but if there's actually a spring missing up here, then what I might do is I might just mill out these pins here, and I think this side as well, and then this sort of does slide off. I can't remember who sent me one of these, or lent me, should I say, lent me one of these where this had actually been very tastefully drilled or milled out, and then put these little brass grub screws on, which is kind of nice. That just made a really nice lock. But like I said, I got that for nothing because I thought, oh, I could be maybe impression a key for it. But then looking at that, I don't think that's a standard Yale key either. I think that might be a restricted one. I'm not entirely sure. That this might just be a project that never happens, but you never know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to I'm going to quickly go through all these locks and just say anything I know about them, what they are, and then maybe pick a few to pick. And then I'm going to, if I've got time, I'll go on to the thing which I didn't do last time, which is just quickly show some of my lever lock picks as well. So, where to start? Let's start with my newest one. And, oh, wow, there's loads of people. Oh, hi Pete. Hi Yukov. Todothy. Locks in the City. Pocket Woman. Seds. All sorts, lots of people that I recognise. Fred Flintstoner. Right, so yeah, let's start with the newest one. Massive disappointment, this one. I actually got it because I didn't read the description on eBay, and I didn't realise that it was a combination lock. I just saw all brass and I thought that seemed like a good price. It was like a £5 or something like that. But it is completely bypassable, which is a massive shame. But there you go. It's still nice. You don't see many laminated or brass. I think that American Lock might have done one, but I'm not entirely sure. Okay, so where can I put these? Over here. Then I've got some unions here. Got some union locks. Maybe have a pick of some of these later. These are still used in the UK for the all brass ones, for like electric substations and things like that. I'm not entirely sure why they need to be all brass, whether maybe they're just better weather resistance. It's not their anti-spark properties that are that they're used for, I don't think. but none of them are repinnable. And I've got a couple of these ones. So you see, these are the newer ones because they got Asa Abloy on, which is a bit of a shame. Because Union, you know, are a British brand. Of course, everything gets consumed eventually by Asa, which isn't a bad thing. They make great locks, but you know, it's just a bit of history, isn't it? Still made in England though, which is nice, apparently. I don't know where these came from or why I have two. They must have been like on eBay for cheap. I mean, they're clearly part of some kind of set. And maybe I bought one for trade and never traded it. But yeah, so I've got a few Union locks there. I think somebody asked why. I think somebody asked why I like all brass padlocks, and it's just because they're slightly rarer, aren't they? I mean, I've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of other locks which are steel, and I mean, and by the way, steel can look beautiful, can't it? I mean, look at this gorgeous Yale, for example. It's a lovely, lovely lock. Nothing wrong with it. I love all locks, but something I know a bit rarer about these all brass ones, don't you think? Yeah. Another one which I got relatively recently, got sent to me as a part of a trade, I think, is this Top Brass. And it took me a while to figure out what this was all about, really, because I'd never heard of the brand. And I was a bit like, oh, Top Brass, it just sounds kind of tacky, doesn't it, as a brand? And it sounds like one of those kind of ones from the Orient. And actually, after a bit of searching, I found it's actually a Wilson Bohannon lock, which made me a lot happier because they've at least got a bit of heritage about them. Not particularly hard lock to pick, but very nice lock. Cool. What else do we have? What else do we have? This, and I can't. Is there a brand on this one? I can't remember who makes this one. It's one of the Willenhall locks. So there's a load of locks made in Willenhall in the UK, including Squire and Walsall and a few other ones like that. And these are, I can't remember which one BB stands for. If anybody knows, anybody know that one? I'm looking at the comments, see if there's anything happening there. No, anybody know that one? Big Bertha. I don't think it's Big Bertha Yukov. But I do actually have, weirdly, this key is fake for show, as it happens. Look, it works. It is actually the key for one of these locks, which is the key for this lock. It's all steel brother. Unfortunately, even though it's like the most basic of warded locks, as cute as it is, it doesn't work on this one. I don't know why. Probably just the warding side difference. So I believe though it does work with one of these warded picks, if I can. There. Oh. Got to find the sweet spot. Ah, it says dropping it. Well, this is going brilliantly, isn't it? I can't even pick the most simple of all lock mechanisms, even though it picked off camera so beautifully just a second ago. Typical, isn't it? Yes, it is Stefan, the well-known demo demon. This is why it's better to do these things off camera and then record it. And if it goes wrong, you can just pretend it didn't, and that you're brilliant. Well, can't even pick a warded lock. Wow, that's a new one, isn't it? It must be broken. Yeah, Yukov, it's definitely broken. Definitely broken. There we go. Haha. See, got it. there, it's just a sweet spot. You've got to find the sweet spot, and then it opens every time. See, that's what I've done. I'd have done that straight on camera and made it look like it was so simple. But no, it's a little bit more complicated. Yeah, it's cute though, isn't it? Anyway, right, those are the bypassable ones. Oddly, I've got a few papes. If anybody is from Brazil or knows how to pronounce that, in what do they speak in do they speak Portuguese in Brazil? If everybody knows how you pronounce that, that'd be great. But yeah, again, I don't know if these are particularly good. I've not really met a better Brazilian lock than papes. Are they any good? Well, we'll maybe pick one later. I think they're all right. They normally have some spools in. They're pretty good, but they're kind of nice. If anybody, I think you probably will all know Wadicy 2, and he collects papes locks as well. So he's got a few of those. You see them a lot on like those little coin like charity boxes around. I don't know why, but anyway. What else we have? We have a couple of American locks actually. I knew about this one, but this was, I can't remember where I got this from actually, but the all brass American lock is lovely, and then the all round brass one. I really like American locks, and I just these two are fantastic. The all brass ones are just lovely. What else we have? We've got a number of these little lockout locks, and I believe the Zenny was meant to be, I could be wrong, I believe it's meant to be a lockout lock as well. So all of these are pretty much the same sort of thing. The hardest one out of all of these is this one. And Starlock are one of those locks which, when people see these little 30-40mm lockout locks, everybody thinks they're going to be a little pushover, but I swear, I don't know if anybody's ever milled one open. Yes, Codrington's used to be a dealer for them in the UK. Yes, they did. Locks in the City. Do you know if Codrington's are still actually around? I heard that they've gone bust. Starlocks are evil. Yes, they are. They really are. I think that, I don't know if anybody's ever taken one of these apart, but I swear they've got bevel pins in. They hang up and they're horrible. And if anybody ever gets one of these, they're normally like shocked by how difficult a pick they actually are. Yeah, was it Quizitax? The Starlock gives you nightmares. Yeah, absolutely, mate. I couldn't agree more. They are the thing of nightmares. This one is actually Japanese. It's one of the few Japanese locks I have. An alpha with which is again part of a trade, I think, for somebody on the UK Locksport forum. But it's one of the few Japanese locks I've got. I think I've got like 2 or 3 Japanese locks. That's one of them. Then I've got some really cute little ones. Look at this, the smallest one here. Should really try and pick this one, shouldn't I? The little Abus. This is tiny, 1.5 centimetre. So cute, aren't they? Got a Stark lock and an Abus. Then I've already shown that Yale, so get rid of that one. One of the nicest ones, and again, I think that this was. Oh yeah, it's got a stamp on it. This is again probably some leftover locks from some big purchase from a big company. Possibly the railway yard. Railway yard? The rail service. What am I on about? But this is a really lovely lock. This isn't brass, it's all bronze, but you know, it sneaks in because it looks the same. This one is a completely unknown brand to me. Nabic. A Nabic? What's a Nabic? It's kind of cute though. Doesn't do a lot. It's probably around 100 years old, I'd say, but I don't know much about it. Oh, started at Q-Locks. Oh, okay. So, so Codrington's is now Q-Locks. Interesting. Would you ever make a gut video of that large Yale? Yes, I already have done a gutting video of this large Yale. It's I'll give it a pick later, actually. I haven't picked this one in ages. I don't think it was a particularly hard pick. Whether I gut it or not, I'm not sure if I've got the patience to do a gutting tonight. A little IFAM E40, a Spanish lock. Now, the incredibly talented Talan pick tells me that they don't have these IFAMs in Spain, which he was very confused about. I sent him one. That isn't unusual. So there are some locks like the Ruko. It was one of the Rukos. I can't remember which one exactly. One of the Rukos, which was made in Denmark but not sold in Denmark. So so this could be under license. It could maybe be a knockoff, but I don't think it is. It's behaves very much like an IFAM in every way. It's just got a brass shackle, or it could be retrofit. Flex core, yes, Rune, thank you. It is the flex core. If anybody knows about Rukos, it is Rune International. Then we've got this very nice little Avocet. You can't buy these ones anymore. Avocet have gone on to the high security locks, which is a bit of a shame. I mean, they're great locks and everything, but I like standard locks as well. But the bitting on this is pretty nice. It's a really nice pick. It's not particularly easy either, and a lot of the Avocets were like that. I don't know who made their locks, because I don't think they make them themselves. Then Masterlock. I can't remember the model number of this because it's something weird. It's one of the EURD ones. It's a European one. And the European 50mm Masterlocks have spools in, which is really strange because the American ones don't. And I just don't understand why we get a better lock. It doesn't make any sense at all. Oh, hi Leon's Lockpad. And then this cute little Federal, which I actually can't remember the code for, but I imagine it's all zeros. Should we try it? I'm actually pulling the shackle as well, which is pointless because I'm just trying all zeros, and it is all zeros. There we go. Very cute though, isn't it? Little Federal lock. If anybody watches my channel, you know that I like Federals. I don't know if I've done a video on the decoding of this. I might do at some point. Right. What lock shall we start with? I think I shall start with this little Avocet, actually. Ah, there you go. It's the pins on it are very small. It's a little 5-pin lock, but the bitting is surprisingly nice for this type of lock. Just a Yale style keyway. Let's grab the vise. I'm gonna have to look at the other monitor I'm actually looking at right now to see whether it's in camera properly, and then I'll try and keep the whole vise there throughout the picking section of this live stream, just so that I know that you can all see it. So if I'm stalling a bit at the moment, it's because there's a delay between what I'm seeing and what you're seeing. So get some picks out. I imagine there's not much I can't pick with those picks, to be honest with you. Peterson Gem in 18,000th, a Southall Max 07B in 23,000th, one of the best picks, and I still love them in 25,000th, but I really wish they still did 23,000th. The Sparrows Lunatic, which I'm a massive convert of, that gives me that sort of medium to high reach, and the Sparrows short hook, which is a little bit taller than the 07B, and a little smaller than the Gem. So yeah, these are pretty good. Okay, so oh, what lock would recommend for a beginner picker? Michael Jones. Michael Jones. I think somebody's mentioned it already, but I would recommend these two locks for a beginner every time. The Masterlock 3 and the M1, or the XL, or the, is it Magnum? You really can't get better locks for a beginner. They're all standard pins, both 4 pins. And what I like about Masterlock is they're made just well enough to be really, 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 really predictable, which is really nice. Okay, I haven't picked this in ages, so, well, this is going to be fun. If I try top of the keyway, can I use a gem, do you think? Or should I just try a sparrow's hook? Oh, into a false set. That was a pin 5. And, oh. Well, I didn't expect that. That might have been a case of picking off the warding. I think it just so happened that picking the 5th pin, put it into a false set, I mustn't have touched pin 4, and just touching 3 and doing counter rotation seemed to open it, and the shaft of the pick must have picked 1 or 2. I don't know. How many pins is this? 1, 2, 3, 4. I thought it was a 5 pin. It's a 4 pin. That might explain why it was a bit easier. Okay, well there you go. That was Tony S. There's only 1 pin in that lock. It's very possible. Look, I'll take it. I'll take it. Normally I can't pick anything on these live streams. I'm going to work my way up through these. What's this? A little Masterlock. That is a 5 pin, isn't it? Let's count that up. At the end of the live stream, I've got to clear all this stuff up, so I'm just going to put everything I picked over that side, over there, and then I've got to match all the keys back up. Let's have a look at this Masterlock then. Lovely lock, but I think based on that keyway, it looks like you should be able to comb pick it. Now the question is, do I have any comb picks easily to hand? The answer is possibly. Possibly I do. Not bad bitting actually for a Masterlock, is it? You really don't see them like that very often. Like I said, this is one of the Euro only locks, so yeah, we got treated here. So in fact, I might swap over, because I'm picking from the bottom of the keyway. I might swap over to the Lunatic just because it's a bit easy to get on the pins. Pin 2. Pin 1, a bit of a false set. So weird to be talking about Masterlocks and you know, like these little brass Masterlocks, and talk about false sets. I still find that really odd. Like I said, it's just so rare. But if you ever get a chance to pick up one of these all brass Masterlocks, or any of the, I think pretty much any of the EURD versions, I think I've set something there, of the locks, they are quite nice picks, funny enough, even though this particular one I think could be comb picked. I'm going to grab my comb picks in a minute and see if I can. It'd be very typical if I got bested by a Masterlock on a live stream, wouldn't it? And we've got an open. Phew. That was surprisingly nerve-wracking. I've been hoping picks really taught me picking spools and light tension. Oh yeah, Leon. Yeah, that's number 19, Leon. Wow, that is just awful. I've not been able to pick it at all. It's a beast of a lock, that Masterlock 19. I've not even seen somebody pick one on YouTube, but I think maybe Bosnian Build did, I think, but there's not many, that's for sure. Horrible lock. I really hope I can pick it. So there you go. That's the EURD version of that Masterlock. Oh, I was going to get comb picks, wasn't I? Hold on, let's see if I can grab them quickly. So here we go. Got some Southord comb picks. I need to do a review on this set actually. It's a pretty good set. Although I have to admit, I'm not sure it's something which I'd recommend maybe anybody apart from a professional locksmith buying, or you know, if you're like me, some idiot YouTuber. So I'm trying to find the one which should have the correct spacing. It's not that one. That's 6 pins. Could be this one, that's 5. Yeah, it should be that one, shouldn't it? As a comb pick. Let's have a go. Can we do it? Oh. Come on. It's probably possible. That is the 5-pin version. Just check it is aligned to each spacing. Yeah, it is. So I'll give it one more go. Put a tension wrench in there too. No, you shouldn't need to. If it's all picked to height. I do need to put it the right way around though. Sometimes you can push the whole thing too far in as well. So there's a bit of a knack to it. There we go. There we go, got it. So yeah, it is combable. In the right hands with a bit of practice. No, it's not a 140 or a 150. I think if it is one, it's a 150 EURD version. It's not a standard Masterlock that you get in the US. This is the, it's got some slightly longer name to it. I can't remember what it is. You could probably do a Google on it, but it's not your standard one because it's got spools in. It's just kind of it's how all of these smaller Masterlocks should be, apart from the keyway, which should be more paracentric than that, because that's really terrible. But yeah, it's not your standard Masterlock. Okay, so I think I mentioned having a go at picking this nice Yale. I'll get the keys off. I might not gut this, to be honest, because it's a right pain. And honestly, I find gutting's incredibly dull. That's why I speed all mine up these days, because who's got the time? There we go. Very, very nice lock, indeed. Oh, hi Hux. So, I might try to do bottom of the keyway tensioning on this one. I haven't picked this for so long, I can't remember how I actually went about picking this. That could work. Alright, try that. Is that... I think that's the right key. Okay, well, let's just try... Let's try picking it. Don't like that at all. Saying uncomfortable about that picking. Pin 4. No. 1. Oh, in the false set though. Who's going to get me out of that false set? I think I'm on pin 2. I think I chose completely the wrong tension tool combination and pick for this. This is pretty terrible. So what do I do? Do it anyway. The tension tool is taking up far too much space in the lock. We've got it into a false set. I wonder if I can swap over actually. Tension, that might help. Grab the top of the keyway tension tool. That's another thing about doing these live streams. You don't get to, if you don't practice which lock you're going to do and when, quite often you'll just make the wrong choice like that. Can I get up there with this? Oh. Back into a false set. But who is it that's needs to be opened properly? Really wish I could go back and quickly watch the video of me picking this from, what, 3 years ago. Give myself some tips about what needs to be picked in this. So I literally can't remember anything about the inside of this lock. I think it's got some like spools in naturally. That's about it. No, that's definitely, that's oversetting now. So is that one. Nope. 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 That's 3. I'll have to go to bottom of keyway tension again. I'm not liking this at all. Where's my favourite tension tool? That one. That won't work for me at all. Okay. I'm trying to go for the thinnest tool I can, which will still give me the tension that I need. And none of those are the ones I want. Maybe that one. An awful twisted tension tool. I don't like twisted tension wrenches, but we're going to go with that one anyway. And since we tried all the other picks, I'm going to try the Sparrows one. Oh, it's pin number 1. There you go. All along, it's pin number 1, holding us back. There you go. Nice lock. Not particularly hard to pick, admittedly, but as always, it's like the choice of tool as ever. That's one thing about these live streams. You don't really get to just like find the right tool very quickly, do you? So look at the comments. Anybody says anything? Yeah, it is always pin number 1. You're right, Gordon. Okay, American lock. I'll pick one of these for a while. Let's take that key off, or one of them. Pretty nice. Again, don't know much about this one either. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 pins. Ah, okay, so this one does have a screw in it, but I don't think they normally do. So I don't know if Pete Restall's still watching, but Pete, is this one that you got and then you drilled it out and put a screw in there? Because I don't think these US locks normally have a repinnable core, so I think you actually might have done that. So if Pete's still there, he was earlier, then he might be able to tell us. Oh, you like that, do you, Tony S? Yeah, it's a pretty nice lock actually, I have to say. Right, this one has to be done top of the keyway because, well, it's an American lock, and that's what happens. That's 1mm pry bar. I need the 1.2, which is somewhere. There it is. And that's my favourite combination for all American locks. Okay, so a bit of this. It hasn't got very good bitting, I have to say, but I can't remember whether the military versions actually have. Oh, went into some kind of set. Whether this one has all standards or serrators in, I can't remember. Definitely got serrated pins in, I can tell you that for sure, because I'm sort of clicking through each pin and you can feel it. Oh, in fact, typical American locks, they can be a pig sometimes. And I literally did a video on this the other day about why you can't pick a lock, and one of them being that you just haven't put enough tension on. It's open. There I was trying to pick more pins. No need, it's literally open. This one did actually have some serrated spools in, so very, very nice. I mean, the bitting is terrible, but because of the serrated spools, it's still quite a nice pick. Okay, what else can we go through? Oh, let's do the other the round-bodied one. It's so nice, isn't it? Slightly odd bitting on this one. That looks like a 0 cut there. I can't remember this one at all, really. Have I even done a video on this? I think I did, but I can't quite remember. Same technique, I guess. That feels odd inside there for sure. Oh, and we're open. Oh, that's interesting. Now, I can't remember that, but there's no spring on this at all. It's just, it's completely free. I can't remember that being a feature of these tubular American locks. Oh, there we go. It says bashing the camera. Yeah, there's no core spring on those at all. I don't know why, but they are really, really beautiful. And I wish, I can't remember who sent me this, but I'm really, really, really grateful for it because it's an absolutely stunning lock. Really is lovely. What else should we do? What have we done? What haven't we done that I fancy having a pick on before we go on to other topics? I think one of the papes would be quite an interesting lock. Maybe this one with like its crazy bitting. Although that does make me think that really wants a Bogota thrown at it, doesn't it? I might give that a go. I'm not a very good raker, to be perfectly honest with you. I just don't practice it as much. Oh, hi Big Al. There you go. So, pretty nice. Might have to trap the shackle on this one. Yeah, I'm going to see if a Bogota would work. I mean, just looking at that bitting, something like that Southord one with its really nice peaks. It's got to be worth a shot, right? I mean, it might not open, but it's definitely got to be worth a go. Might do bottom keyway on that one if I can get away with it. Seems alright. Put in the rake. If this doesn't work, then I'm not going to sweat it, because, like I said, it's not really a technique that not really a great raker anyway. I just thought I'd give it a go in case there's like low hanging fruit there. I don't like that tension tool at all in there. Okay, it's in a full, gets in a full set pretty easily, but I'm trying to go for the full pick. I don't want to be satisfied with just getting to a full set like that. It just easily gets into a full set by doing this, but it doesn't pick all the way. So no, okay. Good to get into a full set if you're in a competition, but other than that, not as easy. It's going through. Once again, we seem to be on the final pin, but can't tell which one it is. I might swap over tension again, like that. Oh, won't take the 1.2, has to be the 1mm. There we go. 1mm. Do a bit of this, swap over. Try a deeper hook attack using the Sparrow's Lunatic. Aha. So I can feel that was pin, how many pins does it have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. Pin 4, but it's just slightly overset, I think. Ah, back down. Good, good, good. Ah, back to a full set. It's nice. Is it pin 1? Feels set. Let's go back through. 5, 4, 3, 2. One's got no spring on it, so I think one's set. It's not giving up anything, this lock, at the moment. We're on pin 2, and we overset something else. Just set pin 1 again. Four, nothing on 3. Back to 5. Might sort to bottom of the keyway tension again, because just working past that warding was robbing me of all the feedback on this lock. And there isn't much warding on the lock, so yeah. That's 2. That's 1, and we're open again. There we go. So yeah, swapping between the old top and bottom of the keyway tension. Like I said, for a lot of the YouTube videos, you would of course just choose the right pick and the right tension tool straight off. So what you're seeing is sort of very raw. I've not picked some of these locks for literally years, and you know, with bittings like this, you're limited to how much of that keyway you can take up with your pick and tension tool. I have to say though, that again, just too wide a keyway. I mean, it's paracentric for sure, but it's not. You know, I think your basic minimums is a Yale style keyway, like the Yale. I mean, that's like a minimum entry requirement for me, and even that's not like super high security. What else should we have a look at? I think one of the unions would be nice. Maybe the IFAM. Let's grab a union. That's got quite nice bitting on it, doesn't it? It's not terrible. And also, it is one of the newer ones. Kind of like it though. Ah. I wish I could remember the provenance of these. It's almost certainly eBay. Pretty nice. The keyway is odd on this, to say the least. But is it paracentric? I would say not. I'm going to have a go with the Lunatic and see if I can just pick it with a Sparrows Lunatic. Possible. He says going straight for what he finds comfortable, which is... Oh, I've got to go bottom of the keyway on this, I think. Actually, which way round does it pick? Oh! Well, that's interesting. Not many of my locks do that, but this seemingly can be tensioned both ways. Let's try it. So the Masterlock 3 and this lock have something in common, which they can be tensioned in either direction, which is unusual. But I'll take that. All right, let's try and pick it tensioning anti-clockwise then, or something. No, clockwise. I'll do. Right. Give that a go. It's quite a deep hook for this lock. I think that we might have to swap down to a more shallow hook so we don't overset anything in the lock. Maybe even more shallow. Oh, I do love the 07B and 23,000th. Please, Southall, please keep making, or please remake them. I'm going to have to go top of the keyway again on this one. Because even this super slim tension wrench, which I'm using, is taking up way too much space in the keyway and is causing some of the pins to overset. You can feel it because you get sort of that slight counter rotation when you put the pick in, which means you know you're pushing a pin back in the lock. And that is a bad thing. So let's have a go. So this is 6, nothing. 5, nothing. 4, nothing. 3, 2, possibly 1. Can't be 1 again. Me and the fight against pin 1. Where's that lunatic gone? I guess I'll look outside. Where is the bottom of the keyway tool which was working? Maybe that'll do. Okay. How odd. Everything in here appears to be picked, unless I've overset something by accident. That's so strange. Start again. That was really odd. Okay, let's try that again. Got so far, just happily picking through the pins, and then nothing. It sort of went dead on me. Almost certainly what I did there was overset a pin, so it's right to restart. There we go. Is there a pin 1 in there somewhere? Nope. Yes, I agree with you. Chrome Fun, attention tool which fits nicely in the keyway is a must. But it doesn't explain why I can't pick this lock, because I don't think it should be giving me as much of a hard time as it is. We've got an open. Yes. Oh, one of the little pins just holding us back up. No, there was no rehearsal at all, Gordon W. Quite a fun lock, but yeah, nothing too serious, that one. None of them are, truthfully. What else? IFAM are usually good for a laugh, aren't they? Usually got a few spools in. Then after this, I think I might call it quits on the picking of the brass locks, and then move on to showing you some of the lever lock tools I have, and finish off the session there. So, like I said, according to the incredibly talented Talan pick, this isn't something you can get in Spain. Nice bitting on that, actually, for a small lock. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pins. Really nice. Oh, hi, helpful lock picker. Oh, and a nice little, that's a cute little tight keyway, isn't it? So yeah, that should be fun at least. I still will try bottom of the keyway on it because I am a sucker for punishment, and I just always do that with any lock. I always do bottom of the keyway tension first and just see what happens, and then once it's embarrassed me a few times, then I go top of the keyway, because I never learn. So lots of clicks on this, so if it has spools, I'm hazarding that they are in the wrong position, and what they're doing is that click is just the rim of the spool being picked. It's not actually hitting a false set at any point. So yeah, okay, so as I had predicted, that's just the wrong tension to use on that lock. I was using too much of the keyway. Can I get this in? One of my favourite little tension tools. No. Okay, I've got a thinner one somewhere. That one maybe? Yeah, we got it. Okay, now it's okay. Also thinking about moving down to a pick in 20 thousandths, just because it's such a tight little keyway. Should be able to do this in 23 though, shouldn't we? But just for a laugh, do I have a Sparrow's hook in 20 thousandths? I think we do. 5, 4, 3, 2, nothing on 1, back to the back. This might be the lock which defeats me tonight. Tight little keyway, spools which seem to catch. Now we should be able to pick it with the 23,000th, shouldn't we? Okay, so come on, IFAM. Be a good lock. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I might call it quits because I don't want to bore you all. But yeah, that'd be a shame. Can't get this little 5-pin IFAM. It's not giving me a lot of pleasure, to be honest with you. Well, I mean, it's giving me pleasure because I like picking locks, but it's not giving me a lot of positive feedback and praise. I might try one last chance with a different tension tool. I wonder if I can. That might not work. What should I use? What should I use? What should I use? That one. That one? Okay, let's try this. One last go. Ah, tension slip. That's awful. I hate that. And again, clearly the wrong tension tool. All the tension tools under the sun, and I only want one to work. No, I might have to call it on this one because it's just not. It's not being nice. Doesn't want me to pick it. Nope, that's depressing. So I mean, the bitting isn't even that crazy at all. The key works fine. Should we try giving it a rake? Bit of a rake, see what happens. Desperation is setting in clearly. Yeah, I don't want to be defeated by this, but I think it's defeating me. Gordon, come back to it in a bit. Yeah, I think you're right, Gordon. Just it's one of those locks which there'll just be some like little bit of a knack to it, which clearly isn't forthcoming today on this live stream. But you know, that's the fun of live streams, isn't it? You don't always get everything open that you want to, or at least as fast as you'd like. No, set it right. This defeated me. I might come back to it later. Oh, so I got a question there saying, Tarajan, forgive me if I got that wrong, saying, oh, you got answered you. Do I have a NATO Mercy? Oddly enough, no. There's something about safe locks. I'm not. I like them, but I'm not like really into them. So I do think the NATO Mercy is beautiful, and it is lovely and all the rest of it. But is it something which I really, really must have? I mean, if I was given one, it'd certainly go sort of on display, but it's not something which I'm desperate for. So yeah, just some locks you like, some you don't, and safe locks are something which I can sort of give or take a little bit, to be honest with you. It's also good to have some in your collection though. Okay, so lever lock picks. I'm going to end the session on this. Probably do about 20 minutes and then I'll stop. So what do we have here? This is a whole collection of stuff, and some of it is good, some of it is bad, some of it's indifferent, and where to start really. So what you may see a few things. So these are the set which you might get from Banggood. I don't know what they're called. Is it Golden Delicious or something like that? They're odd. They are pretty good for the Mauer 7111 locks, but you can see from here, and I have used this an awful lot, so it's a little unfair, but there's a crack just there and it needs to be rebrazed. You can see it probably more clearly there. It's not ideal. I think I don't know how much these are. It's about 30 or 40 pounds for a pair of these. I don't think they're bad actually for the money, but I sort of, even though I did a review on these and I said, look, you can't just buy this and think it'll work on every lever lock. It just isn't. I gave the measurements, but people still don't seem to sort of get it that lever locks are all pretty different, and they all have different measurements, and you buy usually one of these 2-for-1 tools to work on a lock, and that's your lot. So yeah, this does need rebrazing. It's a bit cracked, but I don't hate these. They're not bad for what they are. Same with these. I think these were Huck tools. I don't know if Huck still exists. You see Huck written there, and again, these weren't bad. I think I modified one of these actually to work on so yeah, this one works on Squire 660 locks. This is a 2-for-1, but again, I'm not entirely sure what these were supposed to be for. And again, they're about 40-50 pounds the pair. They're made surprisingly well, these Huck ones. I've got no issues with them at all, but again, I don't know what lock they're supposed to be for. So it's very hard to really recommend buying these either. Then we have these, the Icl Kirkman Set. And these are probably the most common ones that you can buy. And these are for the two most common gauges at 5 and 7. If somebody knows more about lever locks than me, tell me. Oh, hi rubber band. And yeah, so these are these tools are actually pretty nice. The little lollipop handles, also really nice that you get with them. But look at these are the lever wires you buy with the set, and you can see that the tip's sort of burnt. It's really, I mean, that is sharp. I actually withdrew my thumb on after a bit of shock there. I knew it was sharp. I almost stabbed myself with it. There's something very unfinished and rough about these. And I know you should finish your tools off, but there's another spare tip. But they really do look just sheared off. They're really odd. Like, this bit's really good, the handle's really good, but the wires, the bit you actually, you should spend a bit more time on, are pretty poor. Let me show you some wires from Andy Mack. So you may know Andy Mack channel. Andy does a lot of lever lock picking, and he made these wires. Okay, now just look at the difference there. First of all, they're not just sheared off, they are polished and they're flat, and they've got a beautiful curve to them. These are exactly what they should look like. And compare that to these ICL ones. They're a world apart. I mean, these can be used, but I'd spend some time filing and polishing them. But you really can't beat something that's custom made like these. These are truly beautiful from Andy Mack. Do go check out his channel, especially. A subscriber made me this, which is a really cool little padlock pick. This works on Squire 660s, and I think the Chubb battleship. Very cool. Like that kind of the skull aesthetic there. Lovely. And again, these wires which were made are equally as well thought out. Just flatted off and have a little curve to them, which is a lot nicer feel inside the locks. So as far as the and this is a whole load of stuff which I've probably made, and lever lock picking isn't pretty, is it? You just make a load of stuff and bend it, unless you're somebody who actually has skills in it, like Andy Mack and others. But yeah, the ICL kit, would I recommend it? I think that these ones here are made really well. They're very strong. The lollipop hands are great, but you've got to start making your own wires. You just do, because these ones just aren't great. I mean, even the angle's like really sharp on them. Anybody actually have this set? Oh, Rubber Band saying, anybody got a source for piano wire? And eBay. I've got some various gauges here. That's 17 gauge, which is what I normally use for my my wires. That's a gauge 17. It's a bit thinner than the ICL, but I think that's a good thing. I've got some 13 gauge and some 12 gauge. So 16 gauge would be fine. 17 gauge is fine for your actual picks. 13, 12, and other gauges are good for things like tensioning. 13 can be a bit thin, 12 can be a bit thick, but yeah, definitely would suggest some 17 gauge and 16 gauge wire if you want to make your own pick tips. So yeah, but it's eBay. Just make sure you don't get it in a coil. It's a bit of a pro tip there. Some wires are sold in coils. You'll never straighten it. You'll literally never straighten it out. So don't bother with that. But yeah, the ICL set is it's perfectly good. Apart from that, oh, these are tensioners from Andy as well, and these are just, well, they work really well. They're just a knurled nut or something like that. It's been drilled through, but they work really well. But what he has done is just look at the polish on that. So instead of the different gauges here, just take the whole key, and that slots in. And as the up post for extra strength is a little grub screw, and it just works perfectly. There's literally nothing wrong with that at all. So yeah, there's a few ways you can go about it. You could make your own tools out of a key and a nut and some handles and some piano wire. You can buy the ICL kit. If you are a locksmith, then if you want to get into lever lock picking, then you do have some more options. The best of which is the tool set from GJ Locks, which is the multi-pick set. And here it is. I keep all the wires still in their plastic. I don't know why, just keep them sort of because they're labelled. So, but this is a lovely set. I mean, it's really nice. And what's nice is there isn't much out there. I think Andy Mack's selling quite a nice lever padlock pick set, but since Mad Bob's don't make them anymore, let's see if I can find my one. Mad Bob's. Yeah, so Mad Bob's used to sell this little padlock pick set, and it, again, it's you know, variation on the theme, really lovely. Oh, this is made for me by Baldy Locks. This is a made out of a bent nail. Just goes to show with a lever picking, you make stuff out of what you have, and this is a sort of brazed up post, but I think these are 2 nails, and nails are really strong. This is for a Chub battleship which needs a lot of tension, and this works brilliantly. A lot of the lever padlock picks, the tensioner for when you're picking battleships, it just bends. You can't do much about it. And again, you can see that these wires are gauge 11 and 12, I think, for little padlocks. So again, 11, 12 and 13 are great wires to have around. But yeah, so Andy Mack does a set, I think. Mad Bob's used to do a set and it was brilliant, but they don't do it anymore because they're not in business, which is a massive shame. And then if you're a locksmith and you can get an account with GJ Locks, then you can get hold of one of these multi-pick sets. And again, they have little padlock tips as well. Trying to find one. Here's one. And again, what's really nice is these are threaded and replaceable, so you can actually replace the tips, which is really nice, just in case. What's superb about this set is that you just slide the tips in, do the knurled knob, and then you've already got tension. And again, it's just got some wires there on a nice little aluminium handle, and that will work lovely. But of course, this is a multi-pick set, so it isn't just padlocks. We also have our different gauges of other picking tips here, and they just slot in. Pre-lifters for some of the era locks, which basically lift up the wires to their first, lift up the levers to the first position, and if you and that means you can actually slip the picking wire underneath it. Otherwise, the bellies of the levers rest on the curtain. For those of you who pick lever locks, you'll know what that means. And again, you've got a left and a right depending on which side of the door you're going in. There, these pre-lifters, and various other tension tools for other lever locks, which again are handed, and they just slot in. I just love this tool because it's so well thought out. It's actually got a little hole there and a little nub there, and they engage, and it locates it in the right angle, and then you just use that on a flat part on the back of the tip, and it sort of locks it in. So this isn't cheap, this set, by a long way, but it's clearly made exceptionally well. It really is. And this is a combination of, I think, the main pick set and I think 2 expansions as well. So this is like the ultimate one. So it isn't just one kit, this one. If you bought it, you need to a few bits there. But yeah, I mean, this is genuinely brilliant. Oh, rubber band getting controversial. Peterson's overpriced and everything, and I don't use their kit at all. In the UK, they are fabulously overpriced because the postage is insane. But other than that, I don't mind spending the money on their tools if I like them. I don't mind spending a tenner on a Peterson gem that I use all the time. Certainly, I prefer to spend £10 on a pick I use all the time than £2 on a pick that I never use, because it's just a waste, right? So I got a lot of love for the Peterson tools and a lot of hate for the Peterson postage. That's all I've got to say. You can pick up a few Petersons here in the UK, but you've got to go through some channels which, for reasons that I'll remain private on, I'm not entirely a fan of. So yeah, you can, but you know, we all have a choice of who we deal with, and for an extra few pounds, I'd rather deal with Peterson, and that's saying something. So yeah, so that's really all my lever picking tools. Frankly, you don't need a lot, as long as you have some decent wires, and you can make them yourself or contact people like Andy Mack. who make excellent wires as well. And as long as you've got some spare piano wire, you don't need a lot more than that. I mean, lever lock picking is, in many ways, a bit like safe picking. You often need to make a tool for the job. There are some sets like this which will, help you out a bit more in terms of dialing it in for you. But yeah, it's a different skill. I need to do more of it, truthfully. But as ever, I'm constantly busy on the old channel, and sometimes practicing. Locks, like lever lock picking and stuff, just goes to the side, which is a shame. I should do more of it. So yeah, I mean, I think I might. Lock Noob made my picks. Oh yeah, sorry about that. I think so. Yeah, Rubber Band and I did a trade, and I made him a couple of different picks for the Squire 660. Not because it's a hard lock to pick, but because there's a number of different picking ways you can do it. I don't have my set up here, I don't think. But there's all sorts of like really cool ways you can get into the Squire 660. Which is unusual. That's why I love that lock, because there's all sorts of like different ways in. It just teaches you about certain techniques, which other locks might not. Even though it's a basic lock, you kind of have a lot more fun with it. That's my excuse anyway. So yeah, Rubber Band wants more Squires. Yeah, so the only Squire I don't have is the Squire. Yukov, help me out here. Is it the Valiant? Yeah, so Squire Valiant, which is a variant of the Squire. I can't remember the other one. It's a really beautiful Squire padlock, but it's a variant of it, and they're really rare. And I think we got one for a mate. We all clubbed in together and bought him a Squire Valiant, in brand new, old stock in box, and I think it cost like just under £100, just over $100. Defiant. Thank you, Yukov. Yeah, the Valiant is a variation of the Defiant, and you see more Defiants, and even then you don't see many of them. So the Valiant is a bit of a unicorn lock, and it'd be really cool to get hold of one. But we haven't seen our friend actually pick that Valiant yet, have we, Yukov? And why doesn't Squire make drill protected cores in the SS series? No idea. No idea at all. Otherwise, pretty good locks. Oh, lock picking. Hi, lock noob. Hi, lock picking. So yeah, I mean, I might end the stream there. It's been about an hour and a half. It's been really good fun. I think that I was defeated by this little iFam. I'll probably pick it off camera in like literally seconds, because that is the way life is. In terms of lever locks, oh, actually, there is one last thing which I might as well share with you. It's one of those things which I bought thinking it'd make a good video, and it would make a good video at some point, but I just haven't got round to it. And it's this. It's an impressioning set for a particular lever lock, and it just appealed to me. And I got this whole thing for like a tenner in sale, because I don't think they're very popular. There's only locksmiths online. Do feel you can tell me why that is, but it's something about this that in itself for me is worth like 10 quid, because it's really beautiful. And yeah, so you've got all your heights of your pins that can be made up, so you can cut it, and then you've got a bit of putty, a bit of grease, and a bit of powder. And essentially what you end up doing is using a key like this, which has been cut off. You put a bit of putty on and work out the binding of each pin, and then somehow make up a key, and then it works. But I haven't figured it out yet. The instructions are all there. Just one of those things I haven't got around to doing yet, but it's really cool. And you get some replacement pins as well. I don't know, it just seemed like a really cool set. Completely would not recommend to a hobby picker, apart from, like I said, some idiot YouTuber like myself. And to locksmiths out there, you're probably rolling your eyes that somebody who's basically a hobby picker is even like looking at sets like this. But hey, you know, it's interesting, right? So why not? Kind of cool though, isn't it? Locks in the City, pins weren't hardened when they first released it, so they're bending. The kit has a replacement one that was hardened. Oh, that's why they've got replacement hardened pins in it. Cool, okay. Hi, hobby picker. Um, oh, Pete Wrestle's still there. Thanks, Pete. Yeah, well, the thing is, it's weird, isn't it? You know, hobby picking. What does that really mean? I mean, we basically are interested in everything, but whenever I put like locksmith tools online, I get so much stick from people saying, "Oh, you're showing stuff we can't buy." I'm like, yeah, because I find it interesting. But I mean, I get why people are frustrated. I do, because you know you are interested. Oh, I'd like that, and then you find out you can't have it. Then that must be frustrating. But for me, I use this channel to show off stuff that I like, stuff that interests me. So it can be hard finding that balance. But I'll probably do a video on that impressioning kit at some point once I figure out how to use it. Just because I find it interesting. I know that, you know, whilst there will be some people who complain they can't find it or it's not worth it and it's not really a lock sport set, the fact is there'll be plenty of other people who do find it interesting. So it's still worth just doing what you like and hoping other people like it too. Um, Cool. Right. Look, guys, it's been great fun. I'm going to go. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Have a great week. Stay safe. Just, you know, it's crazy times at the moment. So keep picking. Make sure you speak to a lot of people as well. You know, stay social. And I'll see you very, very soon. Soon. Soon? Soon? Soon. Whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. You're all great. Good night, all.